Alright, I am back with another video, and today I've got a channel update for you. A lot of people have been asking me what exactly my plans are for when the absolutely massive patch 8 drops for Baldur's Gate 3. I mean, obviously we're going to be getting a ton of new subclasses, which means the whole build making scene is going to change dramatically. And a lot of people have asked me what kind of builds am I going to make. I should be making this build when the patch comes out, and I should be going back to this old build and remaking it with a new subclass, and I should do this build series, and yada yada yada. So I kind of wanted to go over a few things like that, basically discuss what I'm calling the patch 8 roadmap, to basically just talk about what my plans are for builds, videos, etc. in the future, as well as announcing some upcoming things that I am working on or plan to start working on, which I know I've made promises before, but trust me, all of these are reasonable and I'll be keeping to them. So let's start off with the most popular request I've had ever since patch 8 was announced. Yes, the Dancer of Ilustri version 3 will be the first build video I make for patch 8. I'm going to be using the, let's not even sugarcoat it here, I'm going to use the Bladesinger subclass because, let's be honest, they're all about, you know, elven, fighting and dance techniques. Basically, the Bladesinger subclass in tabletop was made with Ilustri in mind, so the build is going to be getting a massive rework, not completely losing the identity. The actual character is going to stay the same, they're still going to have the same motivations and background, but the way we're going to go about actually making the build is going to change significantly with Bladesinger. I'll still be keeping some of the original identity and sticking to the rules of the deity build series, which at the time was to keep the level of cleric, but overall the build is going to change pretty substantially, and in my opinion, for the better. But then, following that up, I plan to start Season 2 of the Origin Build series. We've had some soft filler episodes in featuring our favourite characters from Baldur's Gate 3 ever since I did the original Origin Build series, which is still, to this day, one of my most popular sets of videos ever. So we're going to be doing a brand new run of Origin Builds, one for every playable character in the game, using the new subclasses, and boy do I have some ideas there. So that's going to be another fun thing that's going to happen right after the Dancer of Ilustri. But now, and this is kind of a big one, I'm going to be returning to live streams properly, with a brand new community build series in the same vein as the deity build series. The deity build series was one of the biggest things for this channel. It was a way to bring the community together and work on something fun, and it turned into the longest running series on the channel, and I missed that. I think the channel genuinely lost something when the deity build series ended. It lost a huge sense of community, which is what made this channel popular, and I'm missing it, I think, as well. Now, as much as I wanted to live stream more, like I say, ever since what happened, you know, in my personal life last year with my father passing away and all that, plus my life being more hectic, I've taken on more responsibilities at work, meaning that I'm working longer hours. It's been hard to keep up with the idea of live streaming when I'm just so exhausted all the time, but now that we have the ability to get back into a proper community build series, I really want to take another swing at it, because they're chill, they're fun to do, and they're easy to do. And because we're going to be doing the Warlock patron build series, where we're going to be looking at all of the creatures in D&D lore that could be suitable as a patron for a warlock, and making fun builds based on those concepts, similar to the deity build series, but with a definite new twist on it, I think it's going to be a great way to bring the community back together once again. So I really hope you guys look forward to that. I'm looking forward to speaking to you all again in real time rather than through Discord or through comments on YouTube. I think the Patron build series is going to be an absolutely stellar time. It's been suggested by a few people, and when patch 8 drops and we have a whole bunch of new subclasses to work with, including the ever-popular Hexblade, we can do some seriously fun stuff with that. I think the Warlock Patron build series is going to be a great new step for the channel. Now, the next bit we're going to get into is my kind of, I don't know how to put it. It's definitely the most divisive thing that the channel has gone through in recent times, and that is mods. Obviously, patch 7 was a huge update for the game because it introduced the in-game mod manager and the ability for modded console playthroughs, which allowed me to kind of broaden my horizons. If a mod was on console, then it would be used for my builds, because I want everyone, both console and PC, to be able to use my builds. Now, this did create a bit of a divide in the community for people who didn't want to use mods, so there are a couple of things I want to announce here. First, I want to reiterate my stance on modding. I am only going to be using balanced, curated mods that I have personally selected that I think are good for the game, that are based on Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition content, keeping to the tabletop roots of Baldur's Gate 3. I have absolutely no intention of using overpowered subclass or subclass mods or equipment that breaks the game balance more so than the game's balance has already been broken with just the vanilla content, which is why things like the barbarian subclasses combined or the fighter subclasses combined mod or things like Oath of Conquest and such like that are okay for the channel, because they are already fairly balanced because they come directly from, you know, the game design of Dungeons & Dragons. Obviously some changes and additions have to be made here and there to accommodate for Baldur's Gate 3 systems, but the mod developers that I've used the mods of genuinely put a lot of love and care into their work and have a general respect for the game that it comes from. And I do think that using these properly curated and balanced mods does lead to a more healthy kind of build-making environment, which is weird to say, but it gives me a lot of like variety and is able to allow me to be more creative. However, that being said, once patch 8 drops, I am not going to be using mods for a little while. I want to focus on using just vanilla content again, making use of the new classes and subclasses. For those of you who think I'm going to be using mods right out of the gate with patch 8, no. Basically, when patch 8 drops, I'm going to say I'm going to give it like at least a month, maybe 2, before I slowly start to reintroduce mods again. Basically, once the honeymoon period of patch 8's drop dies down, I'm going to really start to kind of reintroduce mods like very, very slowly. But even then, I probably won't go too crazy with it. I will still be using visual and cosmetic mods because I think those are mainly okay. They're just visual, they're not going to affect how the build actually plays. But I do think that as far as class, subclasses, and even race/species mods, which again I might use if they're from tabletop, I'm going to take a back seat once patch 8 drops for a while, and then, like I say, I will slowly reintroduce mods over time. But because patch 8 is going to give me so much to work with in terms of build ideas, and we'll have the patron build series as well to keep us creative, I don't see a reason to go straight into using mods again, at least for a month or two. Then, we'll see how I feel. I imagine a lot of mods are going to need time to update after patch 8 drops anyway, although I think, to my understanding, Larian is trying to make the transition as smooth as possible. However, for those of you who are wondering about modded content, it's not going to be gone forever, but once patch 8 drops, it's going to be gone for a little bit. Now, finally, I've got another thing here. This is kind of in the same vein of the live streams, but technically, I'm going to be on a weekly live stream, at least hopefully if schedules allow, but not on this channel. All of you at this point know my friend Red, who I hang out with quite a lot. You'll see me on my see me on her streams quite a lot, and we have recently started a new Elden Ring seamless co-op playthrough together, and it's been a ton of fun. We did a couple of streams a couple of weeks ago already, and it's just been an absolute blast. And our plan is to be able to do it every Friday, sort of around the late evening time. So I would say 7 p.m. UK time will be the start time. So if you guys go over and follow Red's channel, she is linked in the Discord, I believe, as well as I'll put a link down below. You can catch me as her co-op partner, desperately trying to stop her from chasing after every single shiny sparkle she sees in the overworld. Yeah, it's taking us a while to get through the game. But yeah, no, it's a seriously fun time, and if you want to see me, like, more often, which I don't know why you'd want to do that, but sure, you can check me out over there outside of my normal live streams. And finally, I have a pretty big announcement, at least for me. Maybe not to some of you, but it is for me because, well, the first one took a long time. A sequel to my Dragon's Dogma 2 video is now in production. I'm currently in the planning and scripting phase, but it is going to come out. For those of you who have not seen the original video, I basically did a challenge run where I tried to beat the game using no weapons, and I threw a whole Yakuza theme onto it because I love the Yakuza games. And in my opinion, it was a really... I'm just going to say it, I think it was a bloody good video. I put a lot of time and effort into that. I had to play through the whole game, recording the entire thing, editing, scripting out the voiceover segments, you know, doing a bunch of cool stuff, you know, putting in the music, doing these like really cool visual edits. It is probably the video with the highest production quality I have ever made. And at the time, it did really badly, which is how YouTube works. It's nothing like that I was like necessarily salty about. I knew this would happen. It was a passion project of mine at the time. I knew it wasn't going to do well, but I made it anyway because I was having fun and I wanted to try a new video style. The video completely flopped. It got like only a couple hundred views compared to my, you know, couple of thousand that I'd normally get at the time. And, well, that changed recently. I don't know what's happened. The YouTube algorithm has suddenly decided to boost this video, and over the past couple of months, its viewership has shot up. It's getting close to matching my more modern videos, and it will actually surpass them if the trend continues pretty quickly, meaning that the video is now gaining traction, which means people are asking for the part 2, since that was nearly a year ago now. And when I made that video originally, it was when I had a 2-week break from work, and that time of year is coming up again. So the sequel's going to come out a year later. I've not played Dragon's Dogma 2 since I made that video, so it's going to be a tricky one. But yes, we're going to be finishing the second part of the game, which is its kind of post-game, end-game, kind of final, hard, difficult area, with these restrictions that was kind of hinted to at the end of that video. So if you haven't watched that video, please go and watch it. It's called, I believe it's called Dragon's Dogma 2, Can You Beat the Game Without Weapons? You'll find it. It's the only Dragon's Dogma video on my channel. Go give it a watch, and you'll see why I'm putting in the effort to make a part 2, because, again, all of a sudden, people are requesting it. So I'm going to be making that video, hopefully soon. I believe the whole process took me, like, nearly a month of, like, work pretty much straight in the middle of regular work and making other videos at the same time. So I hope to have that out relatively soon, hopefully less than a year after the first one, but who knows. But yes, I'm just saying that part 2 of that video is now in production. Hopefully, it might not take me as long, because it's not like I have to play through the whole game, just the end game bit. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's everything I want to discuss. Basically, Patch 8, you're going to get remastered builds, the Dancer of Alistair being one, with the new subclasses. You're going to get brand new Origin builds. We're going to return with a brand new Warlock Patron build series with live streams bi-weekly, maybe more frequently, depending, you know, how live stream schedules work with me. And then also my kind of ethos on what modded content is going to be, my Elden Ring collaborative streams with Red, and finally, the big Dragon's Dogma video part 2. Yeah, I don't think I missed anything, so I'm going to leave it here. Sorry for this kind of weird, short video with not many edits in it, but, you know, I just kind of wanted to put this out there for you all. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and here's to a bright future. When Patch 8 finally bloody drops. Come on, Marion! Please! At least make it this month. I'll see you all next time.